the other hand, China is claiming the entire South China Sea for itself. It's the South China Sea, and that's it.
Basically, sa constitution natin, talagang atin yung West Philippine Sea.
Prior to finding oil, Scarborough Shoal was... nobody really paid attention to it.
It plays into the whole new superpower thing.
We're trying to diplomatic tact because that's all we have. But we will use fall back.
Ang problema, nung nagkaroon ng Scarborough Shoal issue, biglang bumagsak yung ating exportation sa China. That translated to almost 70 to 80% na pagbagsak dun sa industriya.
Well, I would say parang tayo nasa losing end.
Theoretically, America should be our ally.
If there's any economic gain out of that Scarborough Shoal, it should be shared by both countries. So they would gain.
Pinag-aagawan, pinag-aawayan, kinikilala ito sa maraming katawagan. Sa pandaigdigan, tinatawag itong Scarborough Shoal. Sa salita ng mga Pilipino, kinikilala itong Panatag Shoal o kaya Bajo de Masinloc. Huangyan Island naman ang tawag dito ng mga Chino. Bawat bansa ay may kanya-kanyang kwento tungkol sa pinagtatalunan ng teritoryo na kamakailan lamang ay isinapubliko. Ang Scarborough Shoal ay nadiskubre ng China noong 1279. Panahon pa ng Yuan Dynasty, humigit kumulang sa 240 taon bago pa makasulat ng kasaysayan ang Pilipinas. Simula noon, ang Huangyan Island ay opisyal na kasama sa mapa ng China. Inihiyag din ng China ang soberanya sa teritoryong ito sa buong South China Sea. Amin ang Scarborough Shoal, ang matatag na pahayag ng China, dahil di umano sila ang unang nakatuklas at nagpahayag ng kapangyarihan sa teritoryong ito. Mahigit sa 400 taon mula na madiskubre ito ng China, nabuo naman ang bagong kwento mula sa Pilipinas. Isa sa pinakauna at pinakatumpak na mapa ng Pilipinas ay inilathala noong 1734. Ipinapakita nito na ang Scarborough Shoal ay bahagi ng probinsya ng Zambales. Ang mapang ito ay iginuhit ng isang paring Jesuita at ipinangalan ang Magkawan bilang Bajo de Masinloc. Ang ibig sabihin ay ilalim ng Masinloc. At sa kinalaunan, ang Bajo de Masinloc ay naging saklaw ng batas ng Pilipinas. Ayon sa isang position paper na isinulat nito, quote, "The country has exercised both effective jurisdiction and effective occupation since its independence." Ngunit ang tanong, bakit ka ba pinag-aagawan ang Scarborough Shoal?
Now, prior to finding oil, Scarborough Shoal was like the rest of the Spratlys in comparison. Nobody really paid attention to it. They didn't even have names. The shoal itself was used by the United States for target practice. That's where they dropped their bombs, fired torpedoes at targets. That essentially was it. And fishermen came and went. It didn't matter what nationality. It was just a fishing ground after the Americans left. So now that they found oil in the South China Sea, all the islands are up for grabs.
Ito ay napapaloob sa 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone at continental shelf ng Pilipinas. Ito ay 124 nautical miles mula sa pinakamalapit na baybayin ng Pilipinas at 472 nautical miles naman mula sa pinakamalapit na baybayin ng China. Ang Scarborough Shoal ay hugis-singsing ng coral reefs at napapalibutan ng bato. Tinatayang 5 sa mga batong ito ay nakalitaw sa taas ng tubig. Ang tubig ay hindi umaabot ng 3 metro tuwing high tide. Ang pag-angkin ng Pilipinas sa Scarborough Shoal ay ayon sa juridical criteria na nabuo ng public international law sa pagmamayari ng teritoryo. Ang effective occupation, possession, prescription, conquest at accretion ang bumubuo sa kriteryang ito. Ibinasa ito sa kaso ng Isla ng Palmas, kung saan tinambaran ng pandaigdigang korte ang Netherlands na siyang may soberanya sa islang ito at hindi ang Espanya na nag-angkin base sa kasaysayan. Ang bansang China ay kailangan pang patunayan ang kanyang pag-angkin sa Scarborough Shoal bukod pa sa kasaysayan.
If we use the UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, Philippines has a better right over China. But it plays into the whole new superpower thing with China, considering that UNCLOS may be backed up by superpowers as well. But the thing is, are they willing to anger China? Are we willing to step up to China as well? Theoretically, America should be our ally. It should, stand with the Philippine claim, but it's not. Because it may be our ally, but it has economic interests that far outweigh the Philippines' benefits, which we can give back to them. So I think the main crux of the issue goes greater than simply who can make a stronger claim. I think it's how do we really live up to the idea of UNCLOS? Because if we cannot use UNCLOS, for example, to resolve the conflict, why have UNCLOS at all? So it throws a question of credibility or enforceability at the very least on international treaties like this. I mean, if UNCLOS doesn't work, what else? We have so...
Para sa akin, actually, mas malaki nawawala, for the Philippines. We are actually considered, well, I would say, para tayo nasa losing end. Kasi, we don't have much export to China, except mostly is fruits, mostly yung mga agricultural products, saka labor. Ngayon, like what's happening, nakat nila yung importation of fruits like pineapple, saka banana.
Karoon ng disruption dun sa trade natin with China. Nung past 4 years kasi, ang pinaka-focus na natin na market is China. Kasi sila yung pinakamalaking market in terms of population, in terms of economic relationship, sila yung magandang target. Ang problema, nung nagkaroon ng Scarborough Shoal issue, biglang bumagsak yung ating exportation sa China. Hindi natin alam kung actual policy ba yung in-implement ng China, but there was a temporary stoppage in the importation of goods in China. So, example lang dito, yung sa banana industry, malaki yung naging impact sa banana industry kasi nag-stop sila nung pag-import ng banana, and ang laking market ng banana, Philippine banana industry ang China. Furniture industry, we focus now on the China market. Kaso lang, nung nagkaroon ng issue na to, for the past 7 months, nahirapan na kaming makakuha ng mga Chinese buyers.
Ang Armed Forces of the Philippines ay armado ng mga lipas at lumalang kagamitan mula sa Estados Unidos na dati nitong kapanig. Dahil sa pag-init ng tensyon sa Scarborough Shoal, nagdadang kodo ang pamahalaan na umaabot sa 204 billion pesos upang maging moderno ang sandatang lakas. Ang buong pandagat ay may 24,000 aktibong miyembro. Binubuo ng isang patrol brigade, multi-purpose na tank craft, offshore patrol vessels, fast craft at landing ships. Ang buong himpapawid ay may 16,000 aktibong miyembro at karamihan sa kailang armas ay para lamang sa pagdadala ng hukbo at pagsasanay sa paggamit ng eroplano. Ang Philippine Army naman ay mayroong 80,000 na miyembro. Higit kumulang sa 2.5 million ang dami ng kanilang sundalo. Mahigit $143 billion ang kanilang budget para sa hukbong sandatahan. Ang People's Liberation Navy ay may 87 na pandigmang barko. Ang People's Liberation Air Force ay may 989 na eroplano. Ang People's Liberation Army naman ay may 5,190 na sasakyan, tangke at infantry fighting vehicles.
Well, we're trying the diplomatic tack because that's all we have. Okay? We don't have the military might to back up what we say. We tried that with our one ship, and China just sent more ships than we could. So that's the end of that display. If China sends over even like 1/5 of its navy over the Scarborough Shoal, what are we going to fight them with? What are we going to use? Foul language. So eventually we have to go to the diplomatic tack, because that's all you have.
It's more on a international law sort of issue than it really is a municipal issue.
Maayos naman siguro yung gusot kung makikipag-cooperate ang Chinese. Kasi ang alam ko ngayon, the DFA is actually doing its best to have a diplomatic talk sa mga Chinese.
Well, as of now, people-to-people contact is still there. We are not bothered by all this conflict between the two governments. So even if it's intensified whatsoever, I think, among people-to-people, the Filipino and Chinese, the relationship would remain the same. Because we cannot hide the fact that a lot of Filipinos have Chinese blood also. And the Chinese, when the Chinese came over to the Philippines, they always feel very much at home because, the people here are friendly, and then we're so close to each other culturally. We're both share a lot of things in common. So I think it would more or less remain the same.
Malalim at komplikado ang ugat ng away sa Scarborough Shoal. Huwag natin kalimutan na isa lamang ito sa serye ng away teritoryo sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China. Sa huli, isang mahaba at mabusising proseso ng negosasyon ang tanging paraan upang tuluyan ng matapos ang agawang ito. Ang kapayapaan sa South China Sea ay kapayapaan din ng marami. Ako po si Kevin Miguel at ito ang The Researcher.